Hey, welcome to Ultra Healers. This is a channel where I talk about balancing the mind, the body, and subtle energies. Today we're going to be talking about digital detox, dopamine detox, instant gratification, pleasure seeking, and the negative consequences of pleasure seeking all the time and what it can lead to, and how you can actually overcome that and live a more peaceful, happy, and successful life. You've probably heard of the terms digital detox or dopamine detox, and they're pretty widely used these days in the West. In the East, there's a term called Pratiahara, which means sense withdrawal. So why do we need sense withdrawal? Why do we need to do a dopamine detox? Why do we need to do a digital detox? Well, let me start with telling you a story. It's called the Marshmallow Experiment. So, in the Marshmallow Experiment, scientists, they put a marshmallow in front of some kids, and they basically said, you can eat this marshmallow now, or if you wait about 10 minutes, you can have 2 marshmallows. So some of the kids, they waited, and they ate the marshmallow, before the 10 minutes was up. And some of the kids, they actually waited for the whole 10 minutes and got 2 marshmallows. Now, it turned out that they followed these kids for decades, and the kids that waited for 10 minutes for getting the second marshmallow were a lot more successful in life. And the kids that didn't wait, they wanted the instant gratification, the instant pleasure, they were more associated with, they found that those kids, a lot of those kids ended up in prisons and doing crimes. The kids that actually waited for the marshmallows, they had less of a divorce rate, they had more success, more long-term success in life. And the kids that ate the marshmallow quickly, they were more prone to instant pleasure. You can see where I'm going with this. Today's society is pleasure seeking to try to be happy. There's 2 types of happiness. One comes from instant gratification, instant pleasure, and the way I see it is that type of happiness is short term. And the other type of happiness is when you are putting in the work, when you're putting in meaningful work for your goals, you're putting in the complex thought processes for your purpose, and you're achieving certain results that give you these dopamine boosts. But that type of happiness is more of a long-term happiness. This day and age, everyone wants instant gratification. There's ads, we're being bombarded by ads all the time. People are eating food, so much food, substance abuse, pornography, alcohol addiction, drug addiction, gambling, social media, video games, sports, it's everywhere. And there's multiple screens in people's houses. There's, access to the internet everywhere you go. Television, there's just flooding the brain with dopamine spikes all the time. Instant gratification can lead to physical addiction or behavioral addiction. Physical addiction is when somebody gets addicted to a certain substance, the body can't survive without it. And then behavioral addiction is like being addicted to social media. How many likes did I get? And then always checking your social media to see what's next, scrolling and refreshing your page to see what the next slot machine of social media will display. By the way, so far, if you are enjoying this video, please give it a like and subscribe and hit the notification bell icon so that you can get more videos like this. I'm going to talk about the 7 deadly sins and how that can lead to a lot of destruction in life if you constantly are involved in the 7 deadly sins. One is gluttony. To be eating all the time and stuffing yourself with all kinds of junk food and food that's not necessary can lead to weight gain, it can lead to health problems, it can lead to disease. So the good thing to do is practice a good diet and lifestyle. Make sure that you eat nutritious foods, eat when necessary, and don't overdo it. The next one is greed. We all know what greed can do to us. People who are really greedy are looked down upon. Money is very important. Earn money for a living, earn money for your family, earn money for the things that are necessary, and save. Don't be greedy all the time, chasing things that are going to wreak havoc on things that are important. Like if somebody's always concentrated on work, money, then there's a chance they'll forget about their family and their health, which is something that you should focus on is everything. Family, health, friends, and a good lifestyle. Lust. People who are always seeking pleasure in sex, people who are always watching pornography, people who are always in sexual desire loop, it wreaks a lot of havoc on their mind. It's hard to focus, it's hard to get things done that need to be done. They're wasting a lot of energy, unneeded energy in unneeded places. So that's why the no fap movement is going on. People are starting to understand how important it is, how important sexual energy is, whether you want to convert it into creative energy or use it for just your wife or husband. Okay, so then there's comparing with people. That's happening a lot on social media. It can lead to envy and jealousy. Focus on yourself. Don't compare with others. People are on all different pathways. You could be better at somebody. You could be better at something that somebody else is not that good at. They could be better at something that you're not that good at. You could be the same age and have completely different lifestyles. There's no reason that you should be comparing yourself to anybody. Everybody's on a different path. Okay? Then there's sloth, boredom and laziness. It's really important to be actionable and have a purpose in life. Discover what your purpose is and don't be lazy or bored all the time. There's so much to do. There's so many things that you can give back to on this planet. Everybody's here for a reason and accomplish your purpose. And then there's anger. Anger can go a long way. People who get angry it's like a domino effect. Anger has a really, really loud voice and it can cause a lot of destruction. So practice calming exercises, practice relaxation techniques, meditation, yoga, massage. If you're angry, go sit in the bathtub or take a shower, do deep breathing. That can help a lot. A big one is ego. People who have a lot of ego, they're looked down upon a lot, always boasting and always bragging about something. It's not really that healthy. Make sure that your ego is less than your consciousness. So your consciousness should be higher than your ego. If the ego is higher than your consciousness, then that can be very, very destructive. And that's called pride. So be humble, be grateful, be content, and things will just happen the way they're supposed to happen in life for you. Dopamine boosts are really beneficial when they're earned in meaningful ways. So if you've earned something and worked on a task or done a digital detox or dopamine detox, the smallest things can give you a nice dopamine boost and make you feel happy and blissful. Constant dopamine boosts can lead to addiction and they can lead to destruction. Always seeking pleasure, it's like a drug. You're going to need more and more to feel the same way. It builds tolerance. So if you're always seeking pleasure and you're getting those dopamine boosts, you're going to want double the pleasure to get the same amount of dopamine boosts. And then you're going to want triple the pleasure to get the same amount of dopamine boost. And there would come a time, if you keep doing this, that it doesn't satisfy you anymore. Nothing can really get you to that level of happiness or that level of that short-term pleasure. And that's when people start going downhill. That's when people start getting addicted, destructive, they start becoming bored and lazy, they start giving up in life. So the thing is that seeking pleasure all the time, getting these dopamine spikes, it actually causes a long-term negative effect on your biophysical health. It actually changes your neural pathways for choice behavior, making choices. So it affects how you can make proper choices, and it becomes biased towards short-term pleasure. So without even thinking about it, you're going to start leaning towards short-term pleasures. You're going to start gravitating towards short-term pleasures without even realizing that you're doing that. And the more patience you have, if you are practicing these dopamine detoxes, practicing patience, practicing, digital detoxes, and knowing that good is to come, the more you'll be aware of what's to come next, the more you'll be aware that, okay, I don't need this short-term pleasure. In the long term, I know that I'm going to be happy anyways. The ancient yogis knew about this a long time ago, thousands of years ago. They came up with a term called Pratiahara, which I talked about in the beginning of this video. Pratiahara, and everybody who does like a yogic training or a teacher's training in yoga, they definitely learn about Pratiahara, which is the withdrawal of senses. So we have our eyes, we have our nose, we have the sense of touch, the sense of, hearing, and the sense of taste. So these five senses is where we get everything, all the pleasures around our world, and we also use these senses to live. So what the yogis understood is, why not just use these senses to survive? And instead of using these senses to seek pleasure all the time, use these senses to survive, and the rest of it kind of use that as energy. And they would basically just practice pratyahara and use that amount of energy that they're not releasing in these external pleasures, these short-term pleasures, and they would actually put that energy would actually grow inside them through meditation and yoga. So in conclusion, I just want to say that it's really important to delay gratification and pleasure for the future, because that's the key to success. Like the Marshmallow Experiment. When these kids, they chose to wait for the two marshmallows, they actually became technically more successful. Because they waited, they actually got a bigger reward. So in life, it's the same way. If you work towards your goal and detox yourself from all these these pleasures that are instant, then down the road there's going to be a way bigger reward. So by detoxing your mind and detoxing your body of instant pleasures, you'll be able to be extremely successful in life. You'll be able to reap all the rewards and benefits that life has to give you. So that's what I wanted to tell you about digital detox and dopamine detox. And for me, I've been actually practicing a lot of this recently. I used to be an extreme pleasure seeker. I used to be an extreme instant gratification seeker. Without even knowing the downfalls of it, I've had my experiences with addiction. I've had my experiences with withdrawal. I've had my experiences with just seeking pleasure over and over and over again, whether it's women, whether it's alcohol, whether it's, video games, and all kinds of stuff. I've pretty much been, I've experienced this instant gratification in almost every single aspect you can think of, probably, most areas. And I didn't really get much out of that. Now when I'm actually more aware of my, surroundings, and I'm minimizing my pleasure-seeking desires, it's way more rewarding because I get to harness that energy inside of me, and it's turning into creative energy, and it's turning into other kinds of energy. And it's amazing that I'm realizing this. And I'm happy that I got all of that other stuff out of the way, the seeking an immense amount of pleasure all the time. It wasn't beneficial for me, but now that I can look back at it and compare my life now to what it was before, I can see a world of a difference. It's like yin and yang. And I really appreciate the life now because I have the control to be able to understand the difference between short-term happiness and long-term happiness, and how to reap the benefits of this instant gratification delaying process. So on that note, let me know what you think of this video in the comments below. Are you interested in seeking immediate pleasure, or are you willing to be patient and wait for the double reward, for long-term happiness and bliss? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video, please hit the like button, and please share this video. It's really important for the YouTube algorithm. And I would love it if you subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification so that you can get more videos like this alerted to your inbox. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day.